Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Weekly Money. This is a non-traditional episode of Weekly Money. It's more of an announcement. I guess you can call it a public service announcement if you really want to, or a hotshot driver service announcement. So as you know, I'm a full-time dispatcher these days. I've been dispatching my team of 7 drivers now for, almost 6 months. Time flies. And I've made a lot of good relationships in the industry with different brokers and different shippers. Long story short, I have several projects going on right now in different parts of the country, mostly on the East Coast, really. And I am putting the word out that I'm looking for 3 CDL drivers that have a 40-foot trailer. Doesn't matter if your 40-foot trailer has air ride or not. That doesn't matter. But I do need 3 CDL drivers with 40-foot trailers to transport containers like you see here on the screen. Basically, I have containers going from one location to another. Some of these places are doing 2 loads a day. Some are doing 1 load a day. I'm about to break down the mileage, the expenses, and all that kind of stuff. And if you're interested, you can email me directly. Don't respond on the comment section because I'm not having drawn out discussions in the comment section of YouTube videos. But you're more than welcome to email me and let me know that you have the following already in place. I know you want to know about the money, but I want to make sure you're in compliance. So let's talk about what's required. So first things first, you need a CDL. I mean, if you run, loads that are heavier than you can carry without a CDL, that's your prerogative, but you're not going to mess up what I got going on because you're running rogue without a CDL. So you need a commercial driver's license, number 1. Number 2, I love all my 30-foot hot shots. I love all my 32-foot hot shots. I myself have a 32-foot trailer that I'll never get rid of. But for this project, unfortunately, you cannot haul a 40-foot container on a 30-foot trailer, 32-foot trailer, 34-foot trailer, 35-foot trailer. Like, some states allow you to have 4 feet of overhang. So if you have a 36-foot trailer, do some homework. Because I don't want you to be stopped on the side of the road. Then the load can't get to where it's going in time. That's a domino effect. And at the end of the day, I look bad. That's not an option. So if you have a 36, reach out to me. We can chat about the details and the rules and regulations based on the states you're running through. Otherwise, 40-foot trailers or better. Well, not even or better. 40-foot trailers, period. Next, number 3, a W-9. If you're in business, you know what this is. Have a signed W-9. I'm going to require it of you. I require it for all the folks I dispatch for. And by the way, now that I mentioned that, understand that I'm not dispatching for you long term. This is just for this project. As far as dispatching goes, I have a team of 7. I'm full, and that takes enough time every day, day in and day out. I do not have any additional time to devote to any new drivers, whether you're experienced or not, just because I'd be taken away from the folks that are already on my team, and that's not fair to them. So this is not, an open door for dispatching services. This is just for this particular project. So with that said, number 4 is, Number 4 is your authority letter. This is the letter you received from the FMCSA when your MC number went live. You received it in the mail. I need a copy of that letter. Number 5, your COI, your certificate of insurance. You have to send over a certificate of insurance. I need that in order to confirm that your insurance is active and valid. I also need to be added, not to your insurance as a driver, but you have to call your insurance provider, whoever that is, Progressive or Commerce or whoever, and say, hey, I have a dispatcher. His name is such, whatever other information they require. That way I can call in and request a certificate of insurance with the broker for this load named on there as the insured. They want to be, named as the insured in case you drop a container on the freeway. They're going to want to make sure that they can, reimburse the client for that container you just dropped and whatever else you destroy on the road. So that's that. Next, commitment. I need you to be committed. I'm not going to do long-term commitments like, hey, here's 5 cans. Here's 20. I call them cans because they're just big metal cans, really. Here's 5 cans. Here's 20 cans at a time. I'm not doing long-term projects like that. I'd rather go 1 can at a time. If you do 1, do 2, and you like it, maybe we can go to 2 at a time. But that's as far as I'm going. So once you start, I need you to follow through. If there's anything you don't like, I need you to follow through. So we can do 1 at a time. And if you like it, we can do it again. So anyway, that's what's required. Absolutely required. Email me if you're interested. Next, let's get to the part that you really want to know about, which is the money, the expenses, the mileage, and all that kind of stuff. So here are the numbers for a one-way trip with one of these loads. First things first, where are they starting? Where are you going? So there's two origins. There's two locations that these containers are shipping out of. They're both in New Jersey. They're about 20 miles apart from each other. So one trip from either one of those locations, depending on which one it is either going to run about a 90-mile trip total or a 115-mile trip total. As far as the drive, it's about a 2.5 hour to 3 hour drive, again, depending on which one of the two locations you pick up from. You can do 2 trips a day, especially if you're in line. It's first come, first served to get loaded. So if you're in line at about 5 a.m., you will get loaded early and be out the door or out the yard on your way to make the first drop, and then come back and make the other drop. If you pick up on a Friday, that second pickup on a Friday, you can drop it on that Saturday morning for the most part. They're typically open Saturday mornings. As far as backhauls go, there aren't many backhauls from the area where this is dropping off. If I can find one for you, fantastic. I'll book it for you. But if I can't, which more than likely I won't be able to, because there just isn't much leaving that area where you drop, then you'll just be deadheading back to grab the next container. But again, it's not a long drive, so I'd rather get back and grab the next one and make some more money rather than sit around waiting for another load and now I got containers that are waiting for me. Doesn't make any sense. So that's pretty much that. On the income and expense side of things, each trip pays $550, regardless of which one of the two locations you pick up from in New Jersey. Please don't say, I want to do this. You come on, we start rolling, and you're like, dude, I've done 2 of them. Can you get me an extra $20 because I'm going from the farthest point in New Jersey rather than the other location in New Jersey? Please, spare me. This is what it is. It's $550 per trip. My cost is $80 per trip. You can Zelle me at the end of the day. Your fuel is about, the guys that have done it are doing about $1 to $150 a day in fuel. So I have it at $100 a trip, which is $200 a day, which is not what it's going to cost you. But if fuel goes up, I don't want to be the bad guy who sold you a dream. So $100 per trip, I'd calculate for that and be happy when you have some money left over. Anyway, when you subtract these costs from the income, you have about a $370 adjusted gross per trip. Doing 2 trips a day is $740 a day. Doing this 5 days a week is about $3,700 a week after fuel and after taking care of me, your dispatcher, your temporary dispatcher. If these numbers don't work for you, that's fine. Don't email me. It's totally okay. But if they do, great. Look, one of the main reasons why I'm putting this out there, there's 2 reasons. 1, I make money, which makes sense for everybody. We're all in this for the money. 2, it's winter, or winter's coming, as they say in Game of Thrones. Winter's coming. Also, we have a transition of power going on. However you feel about it, this is not the place to discuss that. But nonetheless, the new administration, or what may be the new administration coming in, may make some changes, may lock things down for a bit. I'm not sure how that's going to affect freight rates and all that. So I'm in the mindset of, I have the squirrel mindset. Gather your nuts while they're around because it may be a long winter. If it's not, then you have a buffet all winter. But if it is, at least you were prepared. And not only that, we're still in the Corona era. Who knows how things are going to change in general? So my mindset, doesn't have to be your mindset, but my mindset is, if there's money available, if there's consistent money available, let me grab it while it's there. I'm not sure when these containers are going to end. My contact tells me that there's enough work for the foreseeable future, which means if you fit the bill and these numbers work for you, reach out to me. We can get you started as soon as possible. Thanksgiving week is going to mess things up, of course, because, it just always does. The holidays always do. But, after Thanksgiving, all the way through Christmas and all the way into the new year, basically you'll run these until you're tired of doing them. If you run one day, one the next day, and the next day say, you know what, I'm good. Okay, then, rock on. But if you want to continue, that's fine too. And we'll just go until they're gone, really. Now, the second project I'm working on is a little bit different. The distance is a little bit further, and you may be comparing this to the other one and saying, well, I want the other one. Well, yeah, a lot of people want the other one. The other one was booked solid until recently, and now it's available, so that's why Project 1 is now available. But Project 2 has been around for a bit. There's some guys that are dedicated to it, and they're banging these out pretty much day after day, and these are the details about it. So it's New Jersey to Massachusetts. There's still 2 origin points. So these containers come from 2 different places in New Jersey. They're going out to Massachusetts, kind of on the lower New Hampshire line. And It's about, depending on where you start in New Jersey, it's either a 190-mile trip or about a 215-mile trip. One way from pickup to drop off, it's 4 to 4.5 hours, of course, depending on where you pick up from. Saturday delivery is usually available. It has been thus far. And as far as back hauls go, there's not much that leaves where these are dropping. So it's a deadhead back. And again, if this is not your cup of tea, that's totally fine. I'm just throwing it out there for those of you that say, you know what, I want to go in the Northeast, or I'm in the Northeast already. That's where I'm from, or I like being up there, or I have family up there, and this will be, a 2-for-1. Or if you're saying, man, I'm kind of hurting wherever I'm at, let me go get some of this consistent money, then, if all those situations sound like yours, or any of those sound like your situation, then it's here. You don't have to take it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I'm just simply trying to share some of the wealth that's out here. So that's the details behind Project 2. Let's get into the money associated with Project 2. So this New Jersey to Massachusetts project, these cans that are going that route on that lane, they pay $800 a trip. And the dispatching fee on this is $100. You can Zelle me at the end of the day. And the fuel associated with this one-way trip, is about $100. So you may end up paying a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on, the price of fuel you get, if you're using a fuel card or not, so on and so forth. But it's about $100, maybe a bit more. A gentleman that was recently running these said he was spending about $150 a day on fuel going and coming back. Now, you're probably thinking, well, oh man, I need a backhaul to be able to make it work even better for me. You're right. The problem is that there's not a lot of backhauls that come from where these are dropping off going back towards the New Jersey area. If and when they do arise, believe me, I'll book it for you. But they're less often, it's more often that you won't have a backhaul back than that you will have a backhaul back. When it's there, great. You can shoot up to, lower New Hampshire or lower Maine or Rhode Island or Connecticut and grab something going back towards Jersey. If those are there, why not? But if they're not there, just know that worst case scenario, you could be running this load for $800 going one way, taking you about $100, $100, maybe $50 in fuel, and you may end up with $600 to $550 a trip if you deadhead all the way back. So let's say you're only spending $100 in fuel. You're at $600 a day, 5 days, $3,000 after fuel and dispatch costs. It may be more like $550 a day, and then of course you have to adjust what you're making a week. To some of you may say, I don't want anything to do with that. And some of you may be like, I'm all over that. Everybody's different, personal preference. I'm just putting it out there. If you like it, email me, hotshotgameplan@gmail.com. Those are the two projects that I have available, guys. I do have some other ones, but I'm not sure how many more cans there are for the picking. If I find out there's, a deep well of containers at other sites, then I will let you know. Otherwise, this is what I have available now. I hope this helps some of you. Look forward to your emails. CDL drivers only, 40-foot trailers only. You're not tied into a long-term commitment with these. If you want to do one, great. You want to do two, great. You want to do 10, great. But we'll do them one at a time. I'll give you one rate kind of at a time, knock it out, then we'll give you another one and another one. That way we can part ways whenever you want to and there's no hard feelings. That's about it. Any questions? Email me. I'm looking forward to putting together some other videos and episodes of Weekly Money for you guys pretty soon. I have some sketched out. I just need the time to do them. So I hope to get those out to you. In the meantime, I hope this helps 1, 2, 10, however many of you respond to this, and we can get you on them. But 3 concrete committed drivers to do these is what I'm looking for. So let me know if it works for you. Later. And if you're looking for a factoring company, need a fuel card, need a credit line so you can fuel up all week and pay it next week, or you want a free Visa gift card when signing up for your ELD, or you want DAT Loadboard access plus the first 30 days free with no kind of DOT number, or if you just want my free course to understand the hotshot business a little more before you jump into a truck and trailer payment, shoot me an email, hotshotgameplan@gmail.com.